is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right. Damn, I'm seeing this here. This guy says he liked the new Beverly Hills Cop movie. I thought it sucked. Did you see it?
I watched it this past weekend. It was okay. You know, it's funny. I rewatched Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. Huh?
You didn't laugh, right?
I didn't really laugh. No, there weren't many. Yeah, it's very. What's funny is that's a movie that just didn't age well. Like you go back to you watch the 84 and 87 versions, and like I'm like, wow, like it just doesn't carry over to today. It's not as funny.
No. Some guy said, no, I really liked it. I was like, yeah, dude, it was like a movie.
Yeah.
You know, problem is Eddie Murphy hasn't been funny in 30 years, dude.
Yeah, not since it's Raw.
His movies have been more, but our kids.
Yeah.
The Doolittle, the Haunted House. Those are really good.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other one? Scrumples. What's something? What's that other one? Not Dr. Doolittle, but it's the other one that he did. That's kind of a goofy one of kids' movies. My daughter used to watch them all the time.
Yeah. The one that I thought was okay, and it's only because I had kids, was the one where he was the babysitter, which I forget where he's in the house and all that crazy stuff happens with him. But yeah, you're right. He hasn't been good in a long time.
He hasn't been good for us, for adults, in forever, bro.
Yeah. Listen, but he's a rich man. It worked for him, right? You do where the money, you go where the money goes.
God bless him, because he really did a nice job of transitioning and creating kids' movies. And that's where I give him. But you know, when you go back to trying to be funny again, it doesn't work, bro. It don't fly. And by the way, what's his name? The older boy, he looks old. Not
these guys. These guys are all in their 70s. Like they're all like really like late 60s. Yeah, Taggart to older dude, bro. Like these guys are beat up. Yeah, there's no doubt.
Taggart looks like he's, I don't know, he was married to an older version of Britney Spears all over the, like a crazy woman or something that drove him like nuts or something. Holy shit. Taggart looks like, he's been fighting some kind of addiction for like 400 years or something. The poor man, boy, that was not a good look. Anyway, all right, what do we got going on in the world of the Canes? Because I see in 2027, Vegas and Mario Cristobal's favorite team, Utah.
Yeah, try to overcome the monster, right? The team that he just couldn't beat when he was at Oregon.
I think he's up in cold sweats here in South Florida, like, honey, what's wrong? It's Utah again. It's Utah. I think that's what this is. I need to schedule those bastards. I got to exercise my Utah demon.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's cool that Miami is getting picked to play in a kickoff classic like that, right? Because all the premier programs in college football do. And it's obvious that the ACC and Big 12 are trying to do something, right? To generate money, to generate interest. The SEC and Big 10 are going to get so much attention. They're going to get so many playoff spots in the next couple of years. I think it's smart for the ACC and Big 12 to get together and put a game together like this with what should be two of your best programs, right? I mean, Miami and Utah could potentially be the programs that win the conference the next couple of years. So by 2027, this could be a really exciting game or a game that we have no idea what's going to happen. So I think both programs are headed in the right direction. Utah's been very good for a long time. They didn't have their quarterback last year. He's coming back, I think, for his 27th season this year, Cam Rising. So he'll be back. They should be good this year, and I think Miami should be good. So I think it's a good matchup, even though it's 3 years away.
Yeah, it's 2027. Yeah, 3 years away. All right, where we at with the recruiting? Because it looks like the recruiting and the commitments continue.
Yeah, they ended up getting another top 100 player, which we talked about on Friday, S.J. Alafatuli out of Las Vegas, Bishop Gorman, the number one center in the country in the 2025 cycle.
Why don't you pronounce his first name, tough guy?
Sisu. Oh. I actually met him at the Future 50 at IMG Academy last year. He and his teammate who's going to Tennessee from Bishop Gorman. I met both of those kids last year. Good kids. Obviously come from the American Samoan descent, just like all the Mario loves getting Samoan kids.
What's the middle name? The middle name.
Oh, I have no idea what his middle name is, but everybody calls him SJ. He likes being called SJ. He actually prefers that over.
Of course, because if not, you're gonna call Tua his real name. Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they picked up. They're in the top 10 now in terms of the recruiting rankings. I think they were at number 9 last I checked yesterday. And they've got a bunch of other kids that they're still in on. Jabori Antoine, a cornerback out of Louisiana. Miami's done a really good job recruiting Louisiana because of Dennis Smith, who's their recruiting coordinator. They're looking to get a top 100 cornerback. That's a position of need. He's a former LSU commitment. He's deciding basically between Miami and Florida State. So we'll see when he announces on July 20 where he picks. And then the next big one is DJ Pickett, which is the number 1 player in the state, top 10 recruit overall, 5-star out of Zephyr Hills, Florida. The kid went to Oregon on his recent trip. Oregon just finished landing the number 1 receiver in the country. So, they paid a pretty penny for him. Who knows if they're going to drop a boatload of money for DJ Pickett, but this is the game now. You got to recruit and you got to pay. And we'll see if DJ Pickett picks Miami. His cousin was in the last recruiting class for the Hurricanes, so they have that going for them. But not an easy battle for that kid, and we'll see if he picks Oregon, Miami. I think he's got another finalist, but I think it's either going to be Oregon or Miami.
Again, I don't get high or low on these recruits and all this kind of stuff, but the Wade and Charles loss to the 4-star kid that went to Central Florida instead of Miami, is that a big deal? I don't know, bro. Just walk me through.
No, because all of this, again, this is a kid that the Wade and Charles kid was committed, I think, as a sophomore. This was like 2 years out, and we've talked to you guys about those sophomore commitments, right? Before the guys even play as juniors or seniors, and this kid was.
I only asked because we need, that's kind of been a thing lately. That it's
yeah. Well, I thought last year's receiver class was actually pretty good. Last year's receiver class was pretty good. They got some good receivers in this last cycle that to me are, maybe they're not the true 5-star number 1 type guys, but JoJo Trader is legitimate, top 10 receiver at his position. Nye Carr is a top 15 guy at his position, top 100 recruit. Both of those guys were top 100 guys. Chance Robinson, the kid from St. Thomas Aquinas, who I think is a great number 2 receiver. Those 3 kids were really good standouts. This year, they're obviously trying.
I apologize. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's just, I grew up spoiled watching one freaking monster after another every year.
Yes.
And so I knew, like, okay, who's the next guy and who's the next guy and who's the next guy,
Yeah.
And even if you were only Wesley Carroll and Dale Dawkins, okay, you weren't Michael Irvin or Perriman. Right. But you were Andre Johnson, but damn, you were really, really, really good, and then Santana Moss, and and it's just, there are so many that I was so spoiled with, from Perrimans and Blades and everything all the way through. But now, as of the last, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years, I don't have those studs on a consistent basis that are going to be taken in the 1st and 2nd rounds, guys that the NFL are drooling for. So that's why I'm spoiled, and that's why the only thing I saw, the kid that we lose him to UCF, and I'm wondering, I'd like to get back to having those stud receivers all the time. Like,
that's a position that's really fallen off at the University of Miami. You go back, the last 1st-round pick at receiver for Miami was Philip Dorsett, and that's almost 10 years ago now.
He's the worst of them, of the guys that I'm talking about. Like, that's the beginning of the decline, actually.
Yeah. And then Braxton Berrios is the only other guy I think that's been drafted at that position since Philip Dorsett. So they got to do a better job. But, look, you have Cam Ward this year. You've got Xavier Restrepo. You've got guys that are – I'm sorry?
That's more than 10 years.
Yeah. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. I mean, look, they're going after good players. They just have to produce them now. Like, Mario's just got a lot of these guys in through the door. You got to remember that. Like, the last 2 recruiting classes, you have guys that are coming off their freshman year And now you have guys that are becoming freshmen. So those are really his guys, the last 2 cycles. And now it's a matter of, getting better and improving and getting these guys to a better position so that they become first-round picks or second-round picks, and then they help you recruit the next group of guys to come through. So it just takes a little bit of time, but I think they're going to get there. I like the kids in the last cycle.
By the way, Manny, don't move to France.
I won't. Why? What happened?
Government has just called for a 90% tax on annual incomes over $400,000.
Wow, 90% tax. Wow. Okay. That is bizarre. They don't want any rich people living there. Is that what it is?
Capital's about to just exit every door in France.
Yeah. Guess if you've got any level of money, you will not be living in France. That or you'll be lying. You'll be lying about your income.
It's like going to Italy. You walk around and go, "Hey, there's no young people here. Everybody's old and dying. What the hell is going on here?" And they've lost all. Now they give things to young people to move there so they can have innovation and
right.
Growth and all that. And by the way, population.
Yeah,
their population is dying actually, and population is dying all over the world because it's too expensive to have kids.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, those numbers are going down.
Kids, because it's too expensive for our kids to have kids. Yep. I mean, so don't move to France.
I will not be going to France, brother. I will not be going to France. By the way, I love looking at the comment section while you and I are talking, and we actually got an NIL question there from Jay.
What is it?
Says, does Florida being a no income tax state help with NIL competition for talent? Jay, that's a great question. And I think it should, certainly, right? I mean, you would think it helps the pros out, so it should certainly help with out-of-state talent. I will say this. If you look at the last couple recruiting classes, it is not just Florida talent. They're getting guys from California. They're getting guys from Texas. They're getting guys from Louisiana. They're getting guys from everywhere across the country, and I'm sure that is a selling point for these kids, that Florida is a no income tax state, and so it has to help. It has to help the same way it does in the pros.
Yep, there you go. All right. So Bernie Sanders has moved to France. All right, follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. Catch his work at The Athletic. Better yet, subscribe. Manny, as always, my brother, thank you very much. Stay away from France.
I will, brother. Take care. Bye-bye.
And Eddie Murphy movies. Later.
Bye.
By the way, visit our friends at Caneswear. All right, Caneswear.com. You can go and use our code BIGO10. You will get 10% off. We save you money. France takes away your money. Bernie Sanders takes away your money. We save you money. Big O10. Use our code. And by the way, if you live too far from Caneswear, but you got to have that Dolphins gear, you got to have that Heat gear, or that InterMiami jersey, or that Messi shirt or jersey or hat or whatever, or anything with the Canes logo on it. By the way, over $99, you will get free shipping. Jeff and all the boys, they will pack that stuff up, man. Awesome, John, all those people out there. Brett does a great job. He has put together one amazing organization, Caneswear at Miami Fanwear. Yeah, you can even get Marlins gear there. I don't know if you really want it, but if you want it, they've got it for you there. It's amazing. Caneswear even has sympathy for our minor league outfits like the Marlins. So it's an amazing thing. Go to Caneswear.com, use our code BIGO10, and of course, you get free shipping over $99 at Caneswear.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.